Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So as you can see, I am recording and driving. I know I should not be, but the Lord gonna protect me as I record this video, but okay, so yeah, I posted my breastplate video yesterday, and I don't know, I just felt like I wanted to record it again, so it could be smoother, and now that I just have a deeper understanding of the armor of God, especially the breastplate, I just wanted to record it again. But yeah, so this video is a continuation of the other video, the last video, which was I Am Eve. And just a little recap, if you want to know the full story, just go and watch it. It's not that long, I don't think, but yeah, so just a recap. Basically, I was disobedient to God, and I just didn't listen to him when he warned me, and it got me into a sticky situation, basically a situation that I did not want to be in. And it kind of brought death to my spirit. It just brought me to a low place, but God said that I don't have to stay there. I have victory, I have won because of him. I just need to use what he gave me and get up, and keep moving forward, and he appointed me to the armor of God, and using that to stand firm against the devil's schemes. And if the devil tries to get to me, that's the thing, like the devil's never going to stop to try to get to us, because he wants us to go to hell, so, but that's why the God has given us the armor of God to withstand anything that he throws at us, so the first, in the armor of God is different pieces. You have the helmet, you have the breastplate, you have the belt, you have the sword, you have the shield, and you have the feet, so, but the first part that he has pointed me to was the breastplate. And I'm going to go over all the parts, but in this video I'm specifically going to talk about the breastplate. So the breastplate represents God's righteousness, God's holiness, okay? And the reason why it's God's righteousness and God's holiness, because we are not righteous. Like, we have sinned, we have made mistakes, we have been disobedient, so we are not righteous in our own self, so it's God's righteousness, it's God's holiness that we are putting on our chest, and that is protecting our heart. So the breastplate protects our heart, and that is very important to know, because that's what the devil tries to go after. He tries to go after the other parts of the armor, but that's the number one place he wants to get to, because if he can get to your heart, he can control everything about you, and everything flows from the heart. So that's why he can control everything else about you, because if he can control everything else, he can control, if he can get to your heart, he can control your mind, your conscience, your feelings, your tongue, your actions, your eyes, and how you see things and how you view things. Like, he can control all of that if he can get to your heart, So that's why it's so important to guard your heart. And it even says that in Proverbs 4:23, it says, above all else, guard your heart. Everything flows from it, So that's why it's so important to protect your precious heart. Okay, so and I don't have my notes with me, so it's off the dome. So excuse me if I forgot something and I'm trying to remember it, but yeah, just another example that to show that everything flows from the heart is when a woman is pregnant, and just within like 2-3 weeks you can already hear the heartbeat, okay? And you can hear the heartbeat before everything else is formed, before you see the legs, before you see the arms, before you see the mouth, and just everything. You can hear the heartbeat before everything. You know what I'm saying? The heartbeat comes first, and that shows that if the devil can get to your heart, that's when everything else will be tainted, But, and, the reason why God appointed me to the breastplate first, because after going through my storm and just realizing everything, it made me bitter. It made me angry. It made me angry and bitter towards myself, because I was like, dang, I decided to allow a friendship to take me away from you and bring me to this different path, and I allowed it. I don't blame anybody else. I don't blame the friendship anymore. I blame myself. You have to learn how to take accountability. I mean, that's the main ingredient for change, is swallowing that accountability pill, but and I was also bitter and angry towards my former friend as well, just listening to her and just the things that she was feeding to me. I was like, man, I should have never listened. And I was also being bitter towards her, and just being hurt and things like that. And the Lord, he made me realize that the devil is using that situation to get to my heart. That bitterness is going to affect my mind, is going to affect my tongue, is going to affect my feelings. He can easily dangle something in front of my eyes, or he could dangle, put something in my head, and there you go. I feel sad, I feel depressed, or I'm speaking, bad things about her, or, affecting my tongue, or, affecting my actions, like, oh, I don't want no friends, or I don't want to be close with nobody. How can God use me if I don't want to talk to nobody? How can God use me if I don't want no relationships with nobody? You know what I'm saying? So that's how he was affecting me, because I had that bitterness. I had, that anger inside of me, and the Lord, made me realize that I need to forgive. I need to put forgiveness in my heart. I need to put love in my heart. I need to, put on that righteousness so I can protect my heart from that bitterness, so I can protect my heart from that anger, and that's what he has made me realize. And, righteousness is all about just living right, and that's living right is when you can forgive, when you can love that other person. You don't even have to see that other person or be around that person to show love, but when you think of them, you think of good things, you think of loving things. When you speak of that person, you speak loving things, and you speak highly of them, and you speak positive things. You know what I'm saying? And when you do that, you see a change within your heart. You see a change within yourself and your actions. You know what I'm saying? So that's what the Lord has made me realize, that I have to do that. And sometimes we don't pay attention to that. We don't pay attention to, the things that we say. Sometimes we don't pay attention to, how we feel, or, our thoughts. Sometimes we don't pay attention to that, and it's so important to do that, because it's affecting everything about us, and we're carrying it on to other, opportunities and other situations. We're carrying that, and in order for us to stop doing that, we have to put on that righteousness, which is right living. Just living right. That's all. Just living right will protect you. It will protect your heart, and once you put on that righteousness on your chest, the devil can't get to you no more. You're unstoppable at that point. Only God can stop you at that point. Nobody else can stop you. The devil can't stop you. If there's people who have set themselves against you, even though you have changed, they cannot get to you anymore. They cannot stop you. So, that's why it's just so important to put on that breastplate. And, and another thing too, just an example of, everything flows from the heart. When you truly love someone, like for example, a married couple or your child, if you love your child like from the heart, or if you love your husband from the heart, wife or whoever's watching, you're going to showcase that through other areas. Like when you think of them, you're going to think of loving things. You're going to think of peaceful things. You're going to think of good things. When you speak of that person, is going to be nothing but love. Your feelings is just going to be nothing but love. You will do anything for them. When you your actions towards them, like I said, you'll do anything for them. When you see them, you see a blessing. That's what you see in your eyes, is a blessing. So, and that shows that, when you have love in your heart, that's what's going to come out. So when you have bitterness in your heart, when you have anger in your heart, when you have pride and lust and all of that sin in your heart, that's what's going to come out. So that's why it's so important to pay attention to that. And the Lord said that what defiles, I'm sorry, I'm turning right now, but what defiles you comes from within, not from what's outside of you, outside of your body. Because you have a chance, what's on the outside, you have a chance of, protecting yourself from that, with the armor of God, with prayer, with fasting, with scripture. You have different ways of protecting yourself from the outside, but the inside, that's what defiles your spirit. That's what defiles you. You know what I'm saying? So you have a choice of, paying attention to the way you live, and, choosing to, taint your spirit or help your spirit. And, another example that I just want to give, my favorite Disney movie is Hercules, and Hades, he wanted to defeat Zeus. He wanted to be over him, and he realized that, I cannot defeat Zeus unless I defeat his son, so what he did was he created this potion to try to kill him. The baby didn't drink all of it. So even though he wasn't immortal anymore, he was mortal, he was human, he still had his godly strength. So, when he grew up, Hades, he tried to send monsters and, these creatures to defeat him, basically demons, to defeat him, but it didn't work, because he had that armor, and, but what got to Hercules was, Satan, Hades, that's his name in the movie. He was like, okay, I got to figure out his weakness. And he was paying attention to him. He was paying attention to, the way he moved, his feelings, just everything. He was paying attention to that. And once he realized what it was, he was able to get to his heart. And once he got to his heart, Hercules became bitter. He became angry. You know what I'm saying? Everything, like his eyes, it just became dark. You know what I'm saying? And that's when Hercules started to be defeated by Hades. You know what I'm saying? But once he removed that bitterness, once he removed that anger, that's when he defeated Hades. So that is a great example, in my opinion, of why it's so important to protect your heart with that righteous living. But yeah, I just hope that you guys learn from this video. I know that I am driving. I apologize. I hope that did not affect you getting the word. Okay. So, but yeah, man, that has changed my life drastically. It has, like, it made me try harder to put on that righteousness so I can grow properly spiritually, and just, grow properly in all areas, in my life, and not to carry that baggage to other areas in my life, to carry, baggage into, new relationships that he has been, putting in my life, But I am so thankful, and I just pray that you guys have learned something from this video, and I pray that you guys can take something from this video and apply it to your life. And I hope you guys have a wonderful and awesome day. All right, bye.